kids to know that they should have something to do after they graduate high school. I want them to know that it is cool to have a plan. It is cool to go to college. Because I talk to a lot of these high school kids, and they feel like once they graduate high school, they don't even know what they're going to do. They don't have a plan. We want to let them know that you can be so much more than even you think, and that if you have a mentor, somebody who's always instilling like positive motivation, encouragement, inspiration. You see what they're doing. It's like, oh, there's only a few years older than me, I can do that too. So we want these students to know that you should have a plan after high school, that you shouldn't just be out here doing whatever. You should actually have a goal for your life. We're going to set them up with short-term and long-term goals. You want them to meet them, you want them to be successful, because a lot of times, especially in these urban areas, when they look around, they don't see anything positive. So what do they have to aspire to be? All they see is the circumstances, negative. And so we just want to encourage kids to know that further education is cool. It's not a waste of time. There are so many scholarships and grants out there. You have the resources accessible to pursue your career goals.
Once you identified yourself, then you will find your purpose. That's when you find your purpose on this word. What am I supposed to be doing? Or what can I do to go to the next steps together and make it into one big conclusion.
Take you guys, bring you over here, and keep the color and keep you programmed because we made you think the color was negative.
We got to put minorities in leadership positions, as in student body president, government situations like that. If we want to be respected enough and have a voice as a student body, we got to put people who can get us in situations like that. Just put them in roles. We got to have more representation as minorities in student government, in administration.
I'm ignorant to college. And to the fact that we have white privilege, that we're not directly exposed to that environment. And I feel that if you're under that white privilege, it's awesome kind of have to go out of their way to get an understanding of what the real environment is. Because if you just mind your own business and do this, you're never going to get a real flavor of what it's really like.
I'm proud that everybody is here today. Program overview. These events is for us to embrace the awareness of our culture, to establish history, truth, and self-identity.
When you migrate, when you move from one particular culture to another culture, if you are embraced in that culture, you change, you become acculturated. You change and you function within that new culture. So if African American after slavery were embraced by the American society, they would not have that struggle of double consciousness. But African American who came to this country as slaves were discouraged of being African. Hence, they could not be African. They aspired to be within the culture and function within the culture that they were in, the American culture. But the American culture did not have a place for them. So there's double consciousness. Are you an African person who happened to be in America, or are you an American person who happened to be of African origin?
And as far as between races, it's kind of a divide because some people may not be able to connect with that kind of struggle, because if your culture is the predominant one, that's what you were born into, this is just who you are, you are the popular, you are what is supposed to be. But if you have a double identity, a triple identity, you keep going back between who you are comfortable with, what you were raised with, and then you go to what's popular, what seems to be what's supposed to be accepted. It's like you don't know where to go. How do you want to be perceived? What do you want to be in this world? Like, your identity is conflicted. You don't know.
To begin the next phase of this I would like everybody to come together, and we're going to have a 5-minute breakout session. So can everybody come together, go to different tables, interact with one another? Because this is not only just a program. This is a program to help cultivate and help others work with each other. Different cultures, different ethnicities coming together, talking about action plans, resolution plans, things of that nature. So if everybody can come together, just go to different tables, collab with each other.
My name is Durham Michael Cox, and I'm the Vice President of First Generation.
My name is DeVoe Sherman, and I am the President/CEO of First Generation Leaders of America.